I don't even really consider myself an antinatalist anymore. I don't really know what that means to me. It's just, I'm not really trying to sit on some moral ground or nothing, because morals are subjective. I just want to say this. If you don't create it, it doesn't have to suffer. And I'm not financially fit to bring a child here. And personally, I don't see any reason to. What the fuck would I bring one here for? What I want to talk about was like human babies. Like, I've seen a lot of my siblings born, and they would cry for no reason. And I'm like, what are they crying about? They cry for 9 hours. You gotta take them to the doctor. We're born in a hospital. It costs millions of dollars to deliver the baby. We can't even, our human women can't even deliver a baby textbook fashion like nature does it. They could die doing so. It's just stupid. We are one of the most least evolved species on the planet. That 2,000 years in evolution shit, I don't believe that. I don't believe that shit. But we have to have these doctors deliver our babies and stuff. Sometimes you gotta have a, C-section and shit like that. What's wrong with our bodies? What's wrong with our species? Nothing about us is natural. We have a baby. Now sign here, signature. Now here's your social security card, birth certificate with a bunch of numbers and fancy wording on it, so we can align them with the prison system and the school system. And we're nothing like a cat having children. A cat has children, and boy, they can have that baby under a porch and do pretty fine. They can find food out there. They'll find food. They go through cat trash cans. They will eat birds. They'll eat mice. They might even eat a couple different types of reptiles. Versus, like, humans can't really eat anything raw. Most of us families are passing on pathetically weak genes. And so I'm just saying, like, just the idea of bringing kids into this piece of shit that we're living in is just stupid to me. It's not a moral argument. It's an argument of it makes no sense. And especially if when they turn 18, they have all these unrealistic expectations pushed onto them. And when they go to public school, they might be harassed by some pedo from the truancy program or some pedo from the DCFS. We know these places are human trafficking organizations. They look at our kids like mold scrapers. And it's just, what's the point of all of it? So it can become 21 and then told, now you better learn to drive or else you're not a member of our society. What? And then another thing is like having to take all these jabs for everything. Why is our species so fucking weak, but animals are doing so well? I mean, I'm seeing starling birds out here. I'm fascinated to look at them. They have a nest and their babies are just doing great. And they can live long lives until they get eaten or catch a disease. But human beings, man, they're just like out of touch with nature. We're like really out of touch with nature. You gotta live in these giant boxes on the streets that have to have this electricity pumped into them, gas pumped into them, and water pumped into them, just so we can feed our fucking fat selves. It just doesn't make any sense, and I don't want to feed into it. Maybe if I'm financially stable, maybe I will, but I don't see any point in it. It's stupid. What's the point of continuing a fucking snake that's just going to eat its own tail? And then when they get a certain age, they will just be jail food. No one really likes these children anyway. When little Jimmy turns fucking, 20-something, 19, and picks up a crack pipe, oh, they don't care about him. These Republicans don't care about him at that point. No one does. Pro-lifers, just like I keep talking about Charles Manson, that man just needed some love. He needed love. He was not loved, and he was so fucked up and broken that he became a psychopath. That's another thing. Is like you could bring children here and they could develop all kinds of problems. It's just a fucking lottery. If there's a God out there, he doesn't really give a fuck about us. He doesn't have our back. And I also want to talk about people with their generational curses nonsense. So why the fuck are you contributing to this realm if it's just going to curse you for even existing? If it's just a fucking harvest. It's just stupid. I'm getting off topic. I didn't mean to go on to that realm. Yeah, just so we can turn 23 and be expected to drive around in a car. Okay, what if the parent dies? What if I die? That potential is very, very real that I could die. I have problems with my lungs. I've had problems with my bowels, and I've had problems. I've had problems with my heart from stress and stuff like that. I could be dead. What if being a parent's too stressful and I turn to like a full-blown alcoholic and just blow my brains out? There's no telling how much shit, because society is so pressurized right now. It's pressurized like a colon with 12 butt plugs stuffed into it. I mean, everything's so expensive. Bring your kid here for what? So they can struggle and suffer? And then they want you to bring it here anyway, because they need it. They need something to harvest. They need something to blame, and especially if it's colored. It just makes no sense. I don't care. I don't care. This species needs to just walk itself to extinction because it's useless. And it's just crazy to be riding down the street on my bike and these cars, these steel coffins rolling down the road. And this is how you identify as a human being, because your steel coffin rolling down the road is your identity. And right now no one can afford one. No one can. It's just stupid. It's stupid. Every component of human existence is stupid. Meaningless, stupid, slow, fragmented. Right now, very fragmented. It's so dumb. And I have a friend right now who had a kid, and his kid was taken by DCFS. And after his woman cheated on him, he don't even give a fuck no more about getting it back. It fucked him up mentally, but he doesn't really care anymore. He's over it. Because apparently the kid wasn't essential to the bitch that he was married to. So it's just dumb. And that's another aspect. It's like, the woman could cheat on me. She could turn her back on me. I could turn my back on her. There's so much temptation and pornography and filth in America. What the fuck makes you think one person's trying to be loyal to one person? They will turn their back on you. They will stab you in the back. Motherfuckers will stab you in the back. We're already going through a fucking apathy pandemic. First it was a loneliness pandemic. Now it's an apathy pandemic. No one gives a fuck anymore. So I don't give a fuck about reproducing. I don't give a fuck about these babies. We should have the abortion clinics open 24/7 so we can scrape them in the trash. I know it's going to offend some pussies in my family and some of these other pro-life F words. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm not contributing to this nonsensical madness, so don't cry to me. I'm not asking for your opinion. And that's all I gotta say. Just my little rant for today. Thanks for listening.